Movie Minutes.
Movie Minutes is a segment where we talk about the movies in the past week, whether it be on Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime, or in theaters, and soon to be Disney Plus. But that's not until November. But we like to talk about the movies that we saw in the past week, and we like to let you know if we recommend it or we don't recommend it. And this week's movie was in theaters because, well, we were going to see It Chapter 2 because we know all of you love Pennywise the Clown. However, my wife and my cousin, we go to the theater and they say, Adam, don't you think you should order ahead of time because aren't the seats going to be filled? And I said, no, not for a movie like It, not for a very popular movie like It. No.
We got there was only a couple seats left.
And we checked like 4 or 5 different times, including the IMAX showing of it, and they were all filled up. So instead, we were going through the movies, seeing what's out, and we saw a movie called Ready or Not. It was an hour-and-a-half film. It was a thriller, and we got to see it, and
Much better choice.
Yeah. So let's talk about it. Liz, what was the movie about?
So, Ready or Not was about this family. This girl marries into this family.
Yeah.
And she didn't have a family before. She was in foster care her whole life. So she didn't have a family. And she told her boyfriend that all she wants is to get married and be part of a permanent family.
Right.
And so she marries this family who is like this big game game company.
Board games.
Yeah. Like this family is like generations of making board games.
Yeah.
And so what's
that company that makes Monopoly? That makes all the board games on there?
Anyway, so she marries into this family, and they have this tradition that when you marry into their family, you have to play a game at midnight.
Yes.
So at midnight after the wedding, it's like someone in their family made this deal with a demon.
Yeah.
Person, devil. I didn't quite understand that part.
Yeah.
But they made this deal with basically the devil.
Yeah.
That they choose a card from this deck, and like this card automatically draws. It was some sort of mechanical thing. Yeah. But you choose a card, and if it's, you play Old Maid, you play Go Fish, you play checkers. But if they draw the card that's hide and seek,
yes, this
person must be hunted down, killed, and sacrificed so that the family can continue to live.
Yeah. That's the basic plot.
Yeah.
Let's not get into too many spoilers here. But that's the plot.
That's the plot.
So I have 3 notes down for this, and then we're going to go into what our ratings are. But my first note, what I was very impressed with this film about is that it gives you all the plot you need for the film. Now, this is an hour-and-a-half film, 1 hour, 34 minutes, and it gives you all the plot within the first 15 to 20 minutes. I remember sitting in a theater, and sometimes I'll watch a movie and I know exactly what's happening. I'll check my phone to see how much runtime has gone, and it gives you all the plot you need within the first 15, 20 minutes. So it doesn't waste your time. So then you have a whole hour of just pure joy, right? Did you ever get confused in the movie of what was going on?
No, not really.
You could follow along.
The only thing I got confused on was who they made the deal with.
Right.
But other than that, it was very straightforward. And the whole movie, you kind of knew what the end was going to be.
Yeah.
But you didn't know how.
Right.
So it was still a mystery, even though it was
predictable.
That predictable ending. You weren't sure how it was going to happen. There were even parts where you doubted that was going to be the ending. Like I was like, oh yeah, that's going to happen. And then I was like, oh wait, maybe I'm wrong.
So what was nice about this movie, talking about runtime even, what I enjoy about good thrillers is that they don't fluff anything.
Yeah.
It's all just condensed. An hour-and-a-half film for a thriller, I think, is the perfect time frame.
Yeah.
You can make a 2-hour one work, but there's no fluff. All it is just tense. And it just like gets your blood like curled. Like it gets you scared at the right time, but it doesn't draw anything out.
Yeah.
So you get your plot, you know what's going on, and then you go on a roller coaster for the rest of the movie.
Yeah.
I think it handled its plot very well. You got some plot explained as the movie went on, but got everything you needed within the first 15, 20 minutes. Now, my second note is that what the thing I was most impressed about with this film is that, usually, I was talking to my mom about this, where thriller movies, they throw in some comedy now and again.
Yeah.
They do throw in some comedy just to get you like detensified so you don't have a heart attack in the middle of the theater and people are just like, oh, I just paid for my ticket. I don't want to take somebody to the hospital. I run into that all the time. But this movie handled it much better. Now, like I said, there are always comedies and thrillers. However, this had the the intensity of a normal thriller, but it had the flow of a light comedy.
Yeah, their comedy wasn't the comic relief.
Yeah.
It was just funny.
It was just
they made the very heavy situation funny.
Exactly. It made it a light comedy, not just a comedy, not just like a dark humor kind of comedy. It was like a fun family light comedy.
Yeah.
But within other scenes, you were tense. Like you want to
like
root
hands
for this
over face and like
Yeah. And it was really well done. The writing for this movie was fantastic. Not just the writing, but the performance. They had some you were a fan of Adam Brody in this film.
Yeah.
And who was the girl anybody?
Nothing huge, no.
Okay, but
she wasn't, at least not recognizable for me. It was Adam Brody and whoever played the mom. Let me just look who that was.
Yeah, the mom is just in everything.
Yeah, I just don't know her name. She plays
There was also an actor from Revenge in it.
Yes, Conrad Grace. The guy who plays Conrad Grayson was in it. I love him.
But
I don't love him. He plays an evil person and everything, but
the performances on this were they just delivered every single line like a home run. You were believing that you were in a situation and you were just really rooting for this girl. Who was the
mom was Andy McDowell.
Yeah, she's in everything.
Yeah, I'm just gonna look up something since I'm on here.
Yeah, so I would just say the performances were just really well done. The writing was fantastic. The set pieces were really awesome. Like, it was so authentic.
Yeah, it was amazing.
You were just invested in this film. You felt like you were a part of the situation, both in the laughs and in the intensity right here. Now, I want to go into my last notes. Overall, I think this had a fantastic runtime, no fluff, and you didn't leave anything out. Excellent casting, by the way. Excellent casting.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Everyone was perfectly made for their role.
It had an engaging narrative, so you knew exactly what was going on, and it had you involved with the movie as it set forward. You were rooting for this girl, and you were trying to find out what's next. Although predictable, it was still fun.
And the twists were still surprising.
Yes. Like, the twists were still surprising, but it was still predictable. Now, when you write something like a thriller, you kind of know going in that it's hard to make an unpredictable plot. So what this writer did, I see that, like, listen, we're all here. We all know, right, what's going to happen in the end, but let's just have fun with this.
Yeah.
So let's go into our overall ratings. You gave it...
I actually gave it a 10 out of 10. And as many of you know, I really don't give anything a 10 out of 10.
You only gave Fighting With My Family a 10 out of 10.
Oh, yeah. So I'm very cautious with my 10 out of 10. So this was a 10 out of 10 for me. I want to own it on DVD the second it comes out. And because it has those that comedy in it.
Yeah.
I could watch it again, because most thrillers you don't watch again because it's like, well, now I know. But since it has that good comedy in it, I would be fine watching it over and over again because it's so good and so funny. I just loved this movie.
I'm fighting myself with giving it a 10 out of 10.
He wants to give it a 10 out of 10.
I don't know. But I was talking with you and Tara, my cousin. We're just cousins. I was talking with you and Tara of what I found to be nitpicks in a movie, but then I don't want to spoil anything. My nitpicks were this, and then
things
you said
you didn't notice they already explained.
Yeah, and then they said like, well, they already said this.
Yeah.
They had every single nitpick that I had, but the story explained it.
Yeah.
Like, the story had purpose behind it.
Yeah.
And every sort of little thing that you think you could be annoyed about, the plot has a reason for it. And it takes place in modern day. There's Instagram, there's YouTube that's already referenced. So it's within 2019. Yeah. So I'll leave it at that. But like they said, there's some things in it where it got explained. So I'll give it a 10 out of 10.
Yes! We won!